The Missouri legislature is considering a ludicrous bill that would take away the ability of judges to grant plaintiffs in state church cases anonymity so that they could proceed in court without having to name who they are if they're in danger. On Tuesday, a committee of the Missouri legislature was considering this bill, so I made the trek down from Madison, Wisconsin, 6.5 hours down to Jefferson City, Missouri, to let them know why this bill is so wrong. From the start, it was very clear from the testimony that this bill was hostile and directly targeted at the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Both the bill's sponsor and other supporters of the bill were talking about FFRF specifically as the entity that they had in mind with this bill.
We sent hired a group said the Freedom from Religion Foundation uses a court to try to remove any type of religious symbol from public location.
One of the witnesses in favor of the bill actually made the just absurd argument that there are no violent religious people, which is why he thought our objection was unwarranted.
Do they or any member of this committee really think people of faith in Missouri are violent people?
This testimony did not go unchallenged. One of the legislators offered several examples of violent religious individuals who the witness said he was not aware of.
Do you know who a gentleman named Eric Robert Rudolph is?
No.
Do you know a gentleman named Paul Jennings Hill?
No.
Do you know somebody named Shelley Shannon?
No.
Do you know what the Army of God is?
No.
I offered the committee the story of Joanne Bell.
Was a parent in a lawsuit challenging religious promotion by her children's public school. Because her identity as a parent was known, Joanne and her kids suffered outrageous backlash while the case was ongoing. They received numerous threatening calls to their home. The kids were called demon worshipers. One of them had an upside-down cross hung inside of their locker. Joanne actually had her head shoved into a car by an employee of the school district, and ultimately their house was firebombed and destroyed.
The obvious purpose of this bill is to scare people away from bringing state church lawsuits. And the problem with that, for one thing, is that if you support the Constitution, you should support civil rights lawsuits. If a plaintiff wins in a state church lawsuit, that means the government was violating the First Amendment, and it's a good thing that that lawsuit was brought. And if a plaintiff loses a state church lawsuit, it should be because the government was not violating the Constitution, according to the judge. It should not be because the plaintiff was intimidated away from bringing the lawsuit in the first place. Although this is a very unusual bill, it directly attacks FFRF's work, so we thought it was worth the trip all the way down to Jefferson City to oppose it, and we would happily do it again if it gains any traction, which we hope it will not. And we also hope that other states don't look at similar bills, but if they do, FFRF will be there to fight those bills as well.